you should probably apologize. If you're thinking about it, you should probably just do it. So this video is about apologizing. It's plain and simple. There's really nothing wild about it. Nothing gimmicky to apologizing. This is and how it impacts your process as an artist, which is basically what all these vlogs are about. How it impacts your work in committing to certain aspects of your life. So apologizing is something that I actually practiced the opposite of up until, I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago. And for me, I was very committed to being unapologetic. I took pride in that, and also taking pride in holding people to task, you know, and if somebody was wrong, then I had to remind them that I was right and that they were wrong, or that they were just wrong. And that has affected my writing. It wasn't just blanket totally like that, but there was a lot of it going on in my life. And the way that you can listen to songs in Lesser Restoration on Spotify, the album I made, that, I mean, they go full, just frontal, like just scorched earth, like no apology, no responsibility, and they really just went into a direction to fly in the face of whoever I was speaking to. And with that being said, whatever I'm trying to process with myself in my writing, or my filmmaking, or my singing, or spoken word, there's something cathartic about it, but then there's also something that can calcify the pain more than help it out. And for me, there's certain songs I've written that I look back on and I'm like, oh my goodness, why'd you do that? Now, I don't regret it. I just look back and I'm like, man, you were one angry little boy. And it's useful to look back at it and say, okay, you know, that's who he was. You know, that's who I was. And look how far we've come. But the practice of apologizing, I used to frown upon it because I thought that it was a sign of weakness. I thought that it was giving up a piece of yourself. I thought it was being submissive. I thought that it was compromising your project or your plan or your goal. And I just looked at it, I looked at it with disdain. However, in the past 3 or 4 years, with a lot of changes in my life, I have found profound power in humility, in humbling myself before the circumstances of others or just others, profound power in admitting I'm wrong, profound power in giving up the payoff of being right, and profound freedom in just being able to say, I'm sorry. Like, I actually really effed that up. I really did. And what it's opened up for me is an entire world of perspective and writing that I would not have had otherwise. I mean, if you look at the mixtapes, To Something Worse Than Is Not My Boyfriend, to Fast Times at Tromont High, to Edo, there's a through line, unless it's towards authority, you know, cops and the government, but you're gonna see a through line of personal holdup. Like, when I'm speaking to other people, it's a personal holdup and just grudges that I did not let go of. And it's not blanket. It's just in some songs you'll notice that theme there, and it's most definitely there. And for that to exist there, it was a limitation for me to break through as an artist, for me to break through as a human being. And it was incredibly limiting. And so my encouragement to anybody that has a holdup with apologizing is to, one, just do it, but also figure out why you're withholding the apology. Like, really search for where the core issue is of why you don't want to say you're sorry, or why you have a hard time admitting you're sorry, or why you find shame or guilt or whatever story or words you're compiling onto it. Figure out why that's happening. And for me, a lot of it was stuff to do with my childhood and relationships in my family that I had total resistance to apologizing. And once I was able to sort out a lot of those core issues, the ability to apologize opened up, and the ability to just be humble opened up, and there was access to it all of a sudden. Whereas before it wasn't even something I like really resisted. It was just a blind spot. Like, it was something I didn't know that I didn't know. Like, it was bad. Like, I mean, I don't want to put a merit on it and say that was bad, but it was not within reach because I didn't even know where to reach for it. And so having that now, there's just a lot more vulnerability in my work, and I really don't have any fear. I'm not afraid to just get into the nit and grit of it. I mean, you can see that in the Van Duzens. Definitely see it in the upcoming album dropping this fall, and Social Science Club. But you kind of give it up, and there's really the concept of fear and challenge just kind of out the window. So I encourage you to dig deep and find out why apologizing may be tough for you, and also to practice apologizing as well, and really take off in the freedom of it. Like, because once you start doing it, like, there's no going back. There's no going back. I've definitely had moments where I'm like, man, should I have apologized? And I get into my old crap, and I'm like, man, should I have really said that? And there's not even a question. There's no question of me apologizing to somebody. I can't even talk myself out of it. I can't even guilt myself anymore. So it's been really freeing. So I encourage you to do that. If you have any questions about it, or if you've engaged in apologizing when you really didn't want to, but you knew you had to, I'd love to hear your stories. And if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments below. And in the meantime, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/ToussaintMorrison. All the tracks from the new upcoming album, some of them are there right now. You can see rough drafts of them. Unreleased content is there. You'll see interviews with actors and all that good stuff at the Patreon. And you can join for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month. So I look forward to seeing y'all there. And thank you for watching this video, and we'll most definitely see you in the next one. Later.